All right, testing. Make sure we're live. You are my brother. Pardon me. Well, before I get into this episode, I want to tell you guys about what this channel is. This channel is meant to uplift, encourage, promote positivity, not only throughout the Black community here in America, but all over the world. Asian Americans, Asian people, Indian people. The list goes on and on. But we are here mainly to talk about things that affect the Black community here in America and the Latino community here in America. Or you can even look at it and say what they would call minorities here in America. So that's what this channel is about. I want to thank you guys for listening to the pod. Feel free to share your expressions, your thoughts, your comments. That's what this community is all about. It's meant to promote, but also give some insight into what people out there are feeling in their hearts and what can be done better. So I want to talk to you guys today about crime that affects us all. And when I say crime, I'm talking really about the violent type of crime. I'm talking about, using guns, robbing people, shooting people, breaking in people's houses, things of that nature. And before I get going on that, I want to say I know people have been put in all types of positions, not only due to the circumstances in which we're living in, but years, decades, centuries of oppression, suppression, putting people down, being negative, not really focusing on equal rights for all. So I get that, people are struggling during this time. And sometimes when you're struggling, when your ribs are clutching and you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, it puts you in an awkward bind. And that doesn't just really apply to the Africans or Americans that I'm speaking to here or people throughout the world. It really affects everybody. But what I want to talk to you about is not letting those thoughts, those actions that you might do occasionally become the main center point of what it is that you do daily, if that makes sense. So, what brings me to tell this story or talk about this and share my thoughts is I know everybody's been going through a really tough time. And as I've looked around, I mainly, you know, locate or move around New York, but I've been to other parts of this great country, America, or, this country that needs improvement. Should I say that? But mainly what I'm speaking to and really focused on here is in New York City and my transition to other parts. So, when the pandemic first hit, I know it touched everybody in a way that just we couldn't see coming. And what I mean by that is if you lost people, you might have lost your loved ones, your support systems, the people you call nearest and dearest to you, you might have lost them during this time. Or you might have just, had hard times before, we went and experienced, this time that we're actually living in. So you just might have been down on your luck. But what I've been noticing, from when things really started hitting hard to me was like, say, April of last year, you know, right then and there, I knew that we lost a lot of people, especially within the Black and the Brown communities. We lost a lot of our loved ones and our immediate families, people who have lost mothers, fathers, people who have lost the ability to go to school and just taken different types of effects on you, from a mental health perspective. So now, as that movement started happening in April and started picking up, people started losing jobs. And as people start losing jobs, situations just start becoming dire, right? And there were people who just were not satisfied with the way things were going before this time happened. But especially when this time happened, people started losing, not only loved ones, but the ability to go out and express themselves. And, you know, they had to be at home a lot more than what they were used to. So then let's just say fast forward about 2 months, you start seeing things with George Floyd happening and everybody's together. which we ought to be all the time. And that's what this channel is about. But that movement, that energy, I'm asking, where has it been? And I know it's been there amongst a lot of people. I'm really focused on this particular episode on not making what's going on around some people be portrayed as it's going around all people, or all people are doing this and it's affecting the masses. So understand that if you're listening to this, that's where I'm speaking from. So we're all looking at the injustices of the world. People are losing jobs. And as people start going back to work, let's just say around September or October, we start seeing this uptick in crime. And crime has always been there. It's plagued all of our communities throughout the world. But I'm starting to notice that there's a lot of gun violence, not only in our communities. And I'm saying to myself, how can we control this gun violence? It's different than when you're fighting against a system that's oppressing you and, holding you back from really achieving or being the most that you possibly can be in life. That battle itself is just naturally going to be difficult to fight. But now you got this other battle where you're saying, hold up, people are down on their luck. But then you start seeing people getting robbed, people stealing from one another during this time where people have lost so many people, mothers, fathers, influencers in their lives. So not only do you not have anything, or maybe you're feeling down on your luck, but you want to go rob somebody, you want to go shoot somebody, you want to, pick up, a gun and express yourself that way. And I must say that it hurts. It really does hurt. And I just want you to know, if you're listening to this, I know people are not meant to be perfect out there. There's nobody perfect, including myself. But I just would never think about robbing somebody, stealing from somebody. And I know some people may listen to this and say, well, you must be in a fortunate position. I'm here to let you know I'm absolutely not. I'm just another person holding a microphone that wants to talk to members of my own community, members outside of my immediate community, but members who all around the world think like me and share thoughts like me and have feelings that they want to bring to the table so we can promote a better tomorrow. And what I'm really saying here is that there's been so much of an uptick in gun violence and murdering and shooting people and stealing from people. And I must say it hurts. And it hurts so bad. And the reason why is because not only have people lost people, or they may not have been in a fortunate situation before this time that we're living in, but the little things that they have left are now being put in jeopardy. So that could be their lives, that could be their possessions, that could be their freedoms. And it's just, we have to think about reducing it somehow. I know crime will always be there where poverty lies. People have to make the most of things. And I'm here to tell you, I understand the idea of providing for your family by any means necessary or at all cost. I definitely understand those thoughts. But there has to be a balance, two lines that you're not willing to cross. For instance, I've had situations in my life where I have not been fortunate at all. I mean, down on my luck, down on my confidence, down on my beliefs, wondering where I'm going to get my next meal from, but still having somewhat of a roof over my head. But it's been a struggle. It's been hard at times. But the last thing I would ever think about doing, is robbing somebody or stealing from somebody. We have so much time now where we're starting to see older people, the frail, the members of our community that help raise us, being put down by younger people within our own community. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm just saying that no matter how hard you are down on your luck, you don't have to rob somebody. You don't have to shoot somebody. Because to believe it or not, we need all of you members of our community to progress forward. We need leaders and strong people that are willing to get jobs done. But there has to be a balance in not trying to steal, especially from one another, or kill one another. We have too many fights going on, too many battles going on. Not only are we fighting for what our freedoms and our rights should be, or just our livelihood should be here in the United States, but we got brothers and sisters in Mexico going all the way down to South America, over to Europe, over to Africa, where a lot of us represent ourselves. What I mean by that is whatever you call US minority, or if you're white and you're tired of this system, you're in this group and you are my brother. But the point is that we have to make a better brotherhood, a better sisterhood to make a better community. And what that involves is like little changes that we can do. So let me back up and say this. I don't believe in blaming victims because I understand that times are hard, but times are hard for a lot of people. And, I understand, slinging marijuana, or you remember, like, people have to hustle and they maybe sell a little bit of marijuana to provide for their family, or maybe do a few things to provide for their family. I get that. I got no problem with that. Brother, sister, you're never going to hear anything from me about that. Even I don't condone any of it really, but I understand the need to provide for your family and take care of your family. So I understand you have to do that. But to be able to rob an older person, and this kind of brings me to the next point here, is that I know that you guys, if you're in America, there's a lot of coverage sitting around, Asian Americans being attacked due to, whatever it is, the situation that we're going through right now. But I want to say that it's now starting to come to my attention that the media is portraying that, we are out here robbing these Asian Americans. And I mean, we as Black people, or as Asian people, or, you know, I don't understand it, but, I don't really listen to the media, to tell you the truth. But I don't want the narrative to be that just because there are a few isolated incidents, that all people are this way. Because to tell you the truth, Asian Americans are our brothers. So what's the point in robbing them? And I can't see a situation. I see many Asian people. I see many of Black people. I see many of Latin people. We all in this thing together. So maybe there's a few isolated incidents, and those isolated incidents, we have to protect our brothers in our communities any way we can. But one thing is that we don't condone, attacking Asian Americans due to whatever. Because Asian Americans or Asian people, we may have differences, different values, but we all are in this thing together, whether we realize it or not. So the point being is that we have to do a better job of protecting those Asian Americans, no matter how bad it is we feel. Because at the end of the day, or how I'm not gonna say bad, I didn't mean to say bad about it, how we feel. No matter how we feel about if we should help them or not, because maybe you're focused on your own issues in life. But at the end of the day, we have to give a little bit of help outside of what we normally do for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to make the world a better place, however you choose. Maybe you wake up in the morning, go to work, and live your life and just try to save your money and try to make sure you and your family is all right. But I'm not asking you for a big change. Think about maybe 5% more that you could, just help an Asian person across the street. Or if an Asian American person can help an African person across the street. That's what this community is about. And that's what we naturally do. So the crime itself that is being committed against Asian Americans or older people within the Black community, we have to do a better job of trying to reduce that. And it probably starts with a mindset, and at least in my opinion, feel free to let me know what you guys think. I think that it starts with a mindset of saying, look, there's certain lines I'm not willing to cross because that's just not in my character. I understand being down on my luck, but I can't go rob and take from somebody because I don't know what they may have lost or what they may have been going through. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to build together. So that's just a little step in the right direction, in my opinion, is that we can just focus on a little something that we can do extra to make every day a little bit better for not only members within our own communities, but members outside of our communities. And I'm not talking about, you know, what other naysayers may have in the form of people who are not within these cultures and they want to degrade us and talk all bad about us. Let's not pay attention to that because we know that those are isolated incidents, and this is propaganda just to make everybody feel bad about themselves and put them down. But that's not who we are as people. No matter what we go through, we always tend to make it. So just help us keep making our communities better. And that's all we can focus on. So that's what I wanted to bring you there, guys, today, to talk about crime that we can control. Because at the end of the day, if we are out there committing crimes, it's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt us, especially if we're attacking our own people, if we're risking our freedom, then you get locked up, go to jail. Now you're away from your family. We don't want any of that within our communities. So, for instance, there are certain things we can control, other things are not going to be perfect. But let's just all give 5% to making things better. And it starts with a mindset of, look, I can't steal from somebody that looks like me. I can't steal from somebody because it's just not the right thing to do. I need to help or educate or talk, converse, hug, share some love with any and everybody who I feel may need this support, because we've all had bad times during this year right now. So the only way we're going to make it through it is we make it together. I'm out to the next episode. Peace.